Hey guys, Philosophos here. This is going to be the Calamity Trapper version 2.0. The patch just hit. Lots of things changed. Class changes, abilities, things like that. So, just going to make a quick video on the spec that I'm using. There's lots of options. Pretty much anything works. But this is my favorite that I have come up with at this point, and it's doing really well. Let me just take a quick second to go through the abilities and talk about them, and then I'll show some gameplay and kind of explain the strategy to use in the build. So we have the Entangling Shot with the 6 Hatred generation. Justice is served. It's gonna, with high attack speed for the Calamity, you're gonna generate a lot of hatred, and it's also doing pretty good damage, and it's also proccing the Call of the Weak. So these two are working together to get the 20% additional damage here, and you have the Cluster Arrow loaded for Bear just for that heavy hitting damage. Dump your hatred into that. We got the Healing Vapor. This is your sustain and your damage avoidance. So the Demon Hunter is kind of tuned away from being face tanky and kind of more just damage avoidance rather than damage mitigation. So we got the smokescreen to avoid the damage, Healing Vapor to heal, the Vault with the tumble, mobility, and more just damage avoidance. The Spitfire turrets for the damage, scatter traps also for the damage. They made some changes to the way the spike traps behave. So all of the spike traps now have a delay and trigger multiple times like the Echoing Blast used to. So that made the scatter trap really good because you get 3 traps for 30 hatred that each explode 3 times. So it's a lot of damage for very little amount of hatred. And we have the Blood Vengeance for the resources and the custom engineering to have more traps and sentries. So that's the spec. The gear doesn't really matter. It's the only thing that's important. Obviously, you have a Calamity with high attacks per second. So, okay, so now we'll show a little bit of gameplay, and I'll talk about the strategy to use in the build. Obviously, with the sentry being on a cooldown, you want to start the battle by dropping down the sentry. Go ahead and get that cooldown started, and then also you're going to want to go ahead and tag the elites with the cull, or with the Entangling Shot to proc the Call of the Weak. So whenever you come up on an elite, you drop your sentry, drop your traps, and get the Call of the Weak snare, and then dump your hatred, and then drop another sentry, more traps, take a little bit of time to put the Call of the Weak out, get your hatred back up, and then just keep dumping. That poison. And it's important to try to keep the Call of the Weak on them. So in your rotation, you know, just make sure you include the Entangling Shot. So you kind of alternate between the Entangling Shot and the Cluster Arrow. And as I mentioned, you know, you want to open with the sentry. And pretty much every time the sentry is off of cooldown, you want to go ahead and cast it. And you can only have 3 of them, but with 6-second cooldown. Basically, just want to keep them out, like clockwork. So you drop the sentry, drop some traps, get the Call of the Weak on everybody, and then dump your hatred on the clusters. And then you can pick up the health globes as well. And that's kind of an unfamiliar build for me, so still a lot of practice, but I like the spec. It's a lot of fun, and it's really strong. It's got good sustain, good survivability. Lots of fun. That's pretty much it. There you go. One more quick look at the spec. And there are a lot of options for the Demon Hunter, so this isn't like hands down the best. I'm having a lot of fun with this spec, but there are a lot of options, and I will be making a lot more videos on some different combinations and different variations. So, you know, feel free to use this as a starter point, you know, take it from there, kind of explore the options on your own, see what you can come up with. Thanks for watching. See you next time.